Hello and welcome to the Battlebots. So, we are not talking about the infamous hydraulic flipper of Battlebots. No, this is a very different and much earlier Hydra. Many by different people as well. So, to make things clear, the following things will not get mentioned in this episode much beyond this point. Hydraulic flippers, bike cracks, robots getting flung into the ceiling. Now, the wall and the camera are another matter, but stick a pin in that one for later. Anyway, named for the Lenaean Hydra, apologies if I pronounced that wrong, of Greek mythology, Hydra started out as a blue box with snake eyes in the form of springs, armed originally with a scoop and a flipper of the pneumatic persuasion. It made its debut in Series 5 of Robot Wars, landing in Hydra, where it drew 13th seeded pneumatic flipper Spawn Again. Okay, I'm just going to put a stop to this potential running gag, because it's going to get annoying very quickly. Hydraulic flippers are not a thing in Robot Wars, you're not going to see any here. And thus, that is going to be the last mention of hydraulic flippers in this episode. Spawn Again flipped Hydra early on, but Hydra self-righted and tried to go for Spawn Again, but both missed with their flips. Hydra then drove on to Spawn Again's flipper, not the smartest idea, given what is written on Spawn Again's flipper. So, Hydra got flipped, self-righted, and that tango continued until Hydra stopped. Spawn Again sent Hydra to Matilda and flipped it a couple more times. Hydra spent quality time with to kill a lot of Matilda as it was counted out. Eventually, it got pitted. Hydra returned for Series 6, now brown without the snake eyes. It was more of a camouflage pattern. And armed with a lifting arm and a hat. A pointy hammer, so it's sometimes referred to as an axe. It landed in Hydra, where it drew Vertical Spinner Accident 2, Pickaxe Wielder Something, and 6th seeded Axebot Dominator 2. Fun times! Hydra flipped Accident 2 and took it out of the battle, before taking on Something and Dominator 2, and not at the same time though. Something ended up tangling with Shunt, so Hydra pushed Dominator 2 into a corner before the already counted out Accident to re-enter the fray. This is what happens when you get righted by the house robots. And after Dominator 2 axed the spinner, Hydra removed Accident 2 from the fray for the second time before going for Something. Hydra and Something then teamed up to go after Dominator 2, and when Accident 2 flew air floor flipper, Hydra got hit by a flying robot. Fun times for not Accident 2, which ended up having his weapon come out. Then Something got counted out due to losing one side of its drive somehow. Something in Accident 2 got pitted. So, that was Hydra through. Next up was Axe Lifterbot Come and Get Her. It's a very similar weapon formation to Hydra actually. The two bots traded axe blows early on before Hydra flipped Come and Get Her over. Come and Get Her could self-right just fine, but Hydra kept attacking, flipping and lifting until Come and Get Her ended up stuck on an arena angle grinder. Hydra Come and Get Her some more before leaving it to its fate, which was not to get counted out, but to release itself from the angle grinder at the cost of half its lifting arm. The half that goes on the ground and is the business end for any robot. Hydra then pushed Come and Get Her into the pit release button and pushed Come and Get Her around, trading axe blows once more. It was what they were doing as time ran out and the judges were called in. They ruled in favour of Hydra. So next up was Dominator 2 in the Heat final. Hydra turned Dominator 2 over early on, but Dominator 2 self-righted. Didn't stop Hydra from pushing the 6 seeds around. They even flipped Dominator 2 over, but once again the 6 seeds self-righted, but this time they axed Hydra as well. Dominator 2 landed quite a few axe blows, thus Hydra got quite a few holes, and pushed Hydra around, but Hydra did try to attack Dominator 2 when it had time to breathe. Hydra even opened the pit, but got axed yet again. Hydra landed a few axe blows, but it was now slowing to a near standstill as time ran out and the judges were called in. They ruled in favour of Dominator 2. Hydra returned for the second series of Robot Wars Extreme, where it entered the Tag Team Terror, joined forces with Flipper Barbaric Response, where they first faced Rammer Mighty Mouse and Rammer Spinner Velociraptor. Hydra was now more of a green camouflage colour. Hydra went out first, pushing Velociraptor a little bit, but in this case it pushed it in little bursts. But Velociraptor went down very quickly. Mighty Mouse tried to rescue Velociraptor, but that failed because Velociraptor was toast. So Hydra quietly tagged Barbaric Response, which flipped Mighty Mouse and sent it to the it was a case of Mighty Mouse was used to open the pit, and Mighty Mouse was pitted, and Velociraptor was sent to a corner. Barbaric Response, whilst all this was going on, was busy picking a fight with Shunt and Matilda. Really smart. Anyway, next up was Axebot Exterminator and Flipper Mini-Morg, which also had a spinner. Hydra went out first and pushed and lifted the Exterminator across the area to dead metal. Exterminator escaped and tagged Mini-Morg. Hydra was still there, ready to annoy Mini-Morg. Hydra tagged Barbaric Response, who flipped Mini-Morg before it tagged Exterminator. Mini-Morg, that is. Exterminator axed the floor. Smart. And both Barbaric Response and Exterminator ended up close to dead metal. Barbaric Response ended up getting an unwanted hug from the house robot. It escaped though and tagged Hydra, which elected to take on Exterminator and Mini-Morg at the same time before settling on Mini-Morg as a target. Hang on. Yeah. I seem to have forgotten my rules prop. I'm not sure if that first part is allowed. The rules are going to get defenestrated anyways. Like just now. So just imagine I have the rules prop and I've just tossed it behind me. Because Exterminator attacked Hydra whilst Hydra was attacking Mini-Morg. You know, Exterminator's teammate. And only one of them is supposed to be out at a time. Hydra flipped Mini-Morg over and sent it to Growler. Exterminator opened the pit, Mini-Morg counted out, and as time ran out on the battle, Hydra and Exterminator were in a pushing war. Now the judges were not called in on this one. It was very clear that because Mini-Morg was out, Hydra and Barbaric Response would win. They got some inflatable sheep as well. It's a Morg thing. Next up, in the final no less, Hydra and Barbaric Response faced Flipper Bulldog Breed and Axe Flipperbot Robo Chicken. Hydra and Bulldog Breed were the first two out, and they danced around each other early on until Bulldog Breed flipped Hydra. And this time Hydra failed self-right. So Barbaric Response rocked up to wreak vengeance, which it did, and Hydra was rescued, but Barbaric Response didn't move after that. Unless Bulldog Breed was pushing it. Bulldog Breed actually helped rescue Hydra. Whoops. And Hydra got flipped again. Thanks very much, Bulldog Breed. Not. Barbaric Response got shoved into a corner. Hydra got counted out, carried around by Mr. Psycho, cooked and pitied before Mr. Psycho turned on Barbaric Response. No shame in going out to the champions there. No shame whatsoever. Anyway, Hydra returned for Series 7 of Robot Wars, and this time it was back to being all blue. No camouflage, just blue. No snake eyes either. It landed in Heat D, where it drew Hammerbot Thor, Flipper Horizontal Spinner Hodaf the Bad, and Dutch Flipper Gravity. Hydra's hammer axe could now put holes in titanium, which was what Hydra was now armed with. Previously it was armed with aluminium. Well, that was its armour. It did not attack with its armour. Armour is defence. Gravity immediately went for Hydra. Hydra got sent flying. Hydra flipped Gravity once it got back on its wheels, but it became very clear, very quickly that Hydra had a target on its back and Gravity was coming for them. Thor and Hodaf the Bad had a poke at Hydra, which flipped Hodaf the Bad, Hydra that is, anything to stay away from Gravity. But Gravity didn't stay away from Hydra for long, pushing Hydra around before flipping it again. Hydra flew well. Hydra lifted Gravity again before Gravity flipped Hydra in a bid to get Hydra out of the arena. Instead, Hydra landed on an arena wall and broke it. Gravity tried to get Hydra out of the arena again. And this time, Hydra did go out of the arena. However, on its way down, Hydra hit a nearby camera and broke that too. Cease got called for safety reasons because of the wall, not the camera. And the judges scored the battle up until the moment Cease was called. Hydra, being out of the arena, was a non-factor in the judges' decision. They ruled in favour of Gravity and Thor. But wait, this is not the last we've heard of no, it's definitely not the last you hear of Gravity in Robot Wars, but the last you hear of Gravity in this episode. It's not the last we hear of Hydra, which was also in the Axe attack. It faced Axe Flipperbot Iron Ore 2.1 and Axebot Cat 3. The three traded axe blows, mainly Iron Ore and Hydra, before Hydra made Iron Ore 2.1 its target, pushing, lifting and axing Iron Ore 2.1 around. Cat 3 meanwhile was stationary but still took an axe blow and got pushed out of the way in a brief break between Hydra going after Iron Ore 2.1. Hydra even sent Iron Ore 2.1 to shunt at least once. I'm pretty sure there was a second time. Hydra had a poke at Cat 3 as it was counted out before annoying shunt and flipping it, before sending Iron Ore 2.1 to a corner. After Iron Ore 2.1 escaped, both Hydra and Iron Ore 2.1 went for Cassius Crow. The ref brought open the pits and Hydra reversed and ended up on the pit square just as it was going down. Hydra had that! Hydra had that fight, darn it! Cat 3 meanwhile flew Airflow Flipper, and that was that for the fight. Iron Ore 2.1 had won somehow. And on that note, that was Hydra's last fight. It did not return. Hydra was a good robot. if it had been in a kind heat, i.e. one without Dominator 2 in, or basically one where it could just fight through and not have a judge decision, it needed more knockouts because it was running out of steam in its third fight, it might have got through. Might is the operative word here. But it was aggressive, it was well driven, especially considering the age of the driver. He was in his early teens at the time of driving. In Tag Team Terror, Hydra was definitely the most valuable player in its team. And Bulldog Breed basically sealed the final as soon as it flipped Hydra. It did seem to have a problem if it had 3 fights in a single episode. Fight 3 would end up not going so well for Hydra. It could be coincidence because it's only happened twice, and it might not be a trend because it's only 2 data points, but it's something worth noting. Hydra's self-writer could not have picked a worse time to fail in that Tag Team Terror final though. And with its exits, Spawn again, Dominator 2, Gravity, all 3 robots made Robot Wars semi-finals. That is not a lineup to be ashamed of losing to. And with Bulldog Breed in the Tag Team Terror final, they also would go on to be Robot Wars semi-finalists. So, yeah, good robot. Bit overshadowed more recently by the Battlebots one. But if you ever want to check out its fights, do. It has good fights. So, will the next one have good fights? We'll find out. Taiki, please be kind. What have we got here? Ramesses II. Until next week, Carlos244, out.